Hello, ma'am. Very good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here for this brief interaction. Uh, could I please ask you to quickly introduce yourself for our audience?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. First of all, to invite me to speak my experiences. So a quick introduction of myself. My name is Sasmita Biswal. I'm an alumni of NIT Rourkela. I did my MCA in 1992. Presently, I'm positioned as the technology head for a global manufacturing organization that has presence in about 20 plus countries. The IT center of excellence of this company is based at Bangalore, Europe, China, and US, that provides consulting and services globally for this company. Earlier, I have also worked in senior leadership position in some of the large consulting and services organization, including Accenture. I was also with PricewaterhouseCoopers and few other consulting organizations. When I started my career, I actually worked as consultant, senior consultant in various technologies and platform. Just to take some names like Oracle, I worked in ERP, SAP, and then later, in some of the advanced thing also, cloud-based SaaS products and S4HANA. So these are like, I worked myself hands-on as consultant and providing advisory services to different companies. And in this during this time and later, as consulting services and advisory, I have also worked for some of the top Fortune companies in the world in different capacity. And my work has actually taken me to some 20 plus countries, so which is good.
That's so great to hear, ma'am. And we are so glad that we have someone of your experience with us today. So, ma'am, to begin with, since you have already done MCA all those years back, what do you think is the scope for a BCA or MCA graduate today in the industry?
Yeah, so I think the question is about what is the current demand in the sector. So I must say that the IT industry in the last 5 years has been in the middle of massive disruption. And then, recently with the COVID-19, that has fast-tracked the digital transformation initiative by several firms, the multinationals, the Indian companies, different captives across sectors, just take it manufacturing, retail, pharma, supply chain, anything. I think everybody, every company's focus has shifted towards making digital use cases for their own business growth. And then similarly, the emerging startups, they are also employing around 10 to 13% of the digital skill. So I think, to your question, what is the demand? I would say the demand is, as on today, or it's going to be in the future for this digital emerging skills. So the question you may ask is, what are those emerging, skills I'm talking of? So just to take some of the names,
Sure.
For example, web UX, that's one of the thing. So this is the platform in which somebody can develop very interactive and intelligent user front ends. While the mobility, the cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, different big data analytics has got a lot of demand, because as most companies today, they generate a huge amount of data and they also use those data. So yesterday, earlier the companies where they were fine with just simple report, but today they need the big data analytic with artificial intelligence to cater to all their large business decision. So I would say that these skills that I just spoke, that constitute around 80% of the future skill or the emerging skill where the demand will be there. And then there are also other technologies, just to take some other names like Internet of Things, IoT, cyber security, with a lot of things moving to cloud. There are the demand of client cyber security has gone up. Blockchain, I'm sure you are aware of that. So I think these skills are going to be the demand. And then I am expecting that the demand are also expected to increase driven by, after the post COVID, the economic is expected to recover, and there will be, surge in the investment by technology companies and manufacturing, the MNCs. And there are a lot of proliferation of skilling programs. So all those is going to, surge those demands. So I would say that these are the areas, I think, the students who are coming out of MCAs or BCAs, they need to focus on, I would say early, from their day one, I would say they should focus on these skills to be market ready.
Sure. So, ma'am, thank you first of all for providing us a very brief of what kind of demands and jobs that are out there for such students. So, ma'am, do you think currently or even in future is there going to be a demand supply gap? For instance, demand is more for such graduates and the supply is less, especially in our Indian ecosystem.
Yeah. So I actually, I am also part of a member in NASSCOM, and I do a lot of study, of different reports and survey that NASSCOM prepares. You know that NASSCOM is a body that works along with India, Government of India. So they, based on a survey and study NASSCOM has done. Just to give you some figure, right? Today the digital skill that I just mentioned, that is approximately, the demand is approximately 8 times more than the size of what we are currently getting.
Wow.
And by 2025 this is expected to become twofold more, meaning the gap is going to become 16 times. So I think and then further, like I also mentioned earlier, there are growing investment by global MNCs, and that is also expected to amplify the rising demand of the talent. So that is going to further widen the demand supply gap. And at the entry level, and again this is an NASSCOM data I'm just talking of, at the entry level, the companies are expecting 60 to 70% of the future digital skill to come from the universities. And today, I would say at the entry level, India is employing around 1.2 to 1.3 million of these future skills, and this is actually growing at a CAGR of around 16 to 20%. So I think the demand is going to be very high, and I must say that India has the potential to capture around 25% of the global future skill talent, talent need by 2025, and which is currently 8 to 10%. So I would say, right now in India, we are. This is a fantastic opportunity for India to become a global talent hub in these emerging technologies.
Those are very insightful figures, and thank you for providing us with that. So, ma'am, what do you think is the solution? How can India match or bridge this supply-demand gap? Do you think the degree programs at graduate or postgraduate levels are an answer to a certain extent?
So I would say partly, but then there are also the other avenues. Those also need to be leveraged to bridge the gap. And just talking of the degree programs, I must say that and I have done MCA, so, and I was also going through some of the curriculums which is right now for the MCAs particularly. So I must say that the degree programs actually are designed for this MCA and BCA, has a very comprehensive and a very all-rounded curriculum that actually helps to develop a student in the computational, in the analytical skill and the logical reasoning, in addition to the core technology. And these are what is required for a student to be industry ready. And if I just talk especially in NMCA, because I was doing that, so this is also augmented with other subjects like management, financial, and accounting, and that is also necessary for someone to grow in his or her career as a leader or as a manager. And for the MCA, and again I'm talking more of MCA, because I have done it myself, and probably I'm not so much closer to BCA, but there is a full semester of intensive that actually allow the student to go and work in a real project and develop their skill.
Right.
And this also in many cases creates long-term job opportunities. So the tier 1 and tier 2 and other good institute and universities, they have also collaboration with some of the large companies for those intensive opportunities. So these are definitely help a student to be ready for the type of skill, type of competencies that the market is now looking for. So I would say like I said, the demand is very, very huge, but the degree program from a good universities definitely help to large extent. However, this is not enough. There is also need to reskill the student who are already out of the university, and and not necessarily they're skilled in the digital areas. So there is a need to reskill those. And I am aware that a lot of multinationals and Indian companies, they are already reskilling the in large scale. And government of India is also launching multiple skill development programs, and they are also helping to foster the ecosystem growth. And then, like I just said, NASCOM, company bodies like NASCOM, they are also collaborating with government of India on the reskilling. Similarly, there are several center of excellence, digital hubs. Those, all those are also reskilling. So yeah, so I think combination of all of these, and of course the degree programs should be able to bridge the gap.
Sure, ma'am. So, ma'am, since you have worked in multiple technology roles as a consultant over the years, when you yourself go out to hire a BCA or let's say an MCA candidate, what are the things that you look out in that person? What is the most desirable or ideal profile of such a candidate which you would prefer to hire in your organization?
So I would say, I think the biggest thing I would look at, most important thing I would look at from a young professional in this sector is innovation. So I would say the innovation is key to success and sustain. So I would look for a student who brings in a lot of innovation, fresh ideas to the table.
Sure.
We also need help in building a person who helps in building an energetic and vibrating work environment. One thing I must say, I think this is in particularly important in IT sector more than any other sector, is that ability to reskill and upskill rapidly and stay relevant. And I think one of the saying I was reading is that the only skill that is important in the 21st century is the skill of learning new skills. Everything else becomes obsolete over time. I think this is the most important thing for somebody I would look at to be. I mean, you just give any technology, somebody who can self-learn and kind of reskill or train himself or herself in 3 to 4 months, 6 months time. I would look for people who are very positive and kind of can-do attitude.
Sure.
So yeah, I think these are the things, and I think time has gone where maybe the working hard was given more importance. I would say nowadays, work smart, not necessarily hard, is the mantra for success.
Sure, ma'am. I absolutely agree with you that trainability or adaptability with the fast changing pace of the new skills that are coming up is extremely relevant. So, ma'am, for our audience out there who are probably students of 12th, who are at the cusp of choosing a vocation for their life or a field to make their career in, what advice would you give to someone who is maybe choosing to do a BCA or a BCA graduate choosing to do MCA? What would you advise?
I would say, I think it is important, given that nowadays there are a lot of institutes, right? Like mushrooms. There are a lot of institutes coming up. It is wise to choose a reputed institute who have adopted the market relevant curriculum. Right. And good connect, also who have got good connect with the industry. I think that will be most important, first of all. And then, like I just said, this IT industry is highly evolving, so it is very important to continuously reskill and stay relevant. I think, focusing on the hands-on and the practical aspect is going to be important in IT industry, particularly be it in the software side or in the hardware infrastructure side or cloud. The industries give a lot of emphasis on the certification. A student or a candidate would have done. There are a lot of certification are there. I mean, some are not necessarily there is cost involved. For some, there are cost involved, but it is good to do. I mean, choose at least few certification and do those apart from gaining experience. I would say business domain knowledge. I have seen that people, particularly in the IT sector, they may be very good in the technology, but when it comes to understanding the business domain aspect, that is where sometimes there is a gap. So it is important to also understand, for example, how a manufacturing sector works, how a finance sector works. I think understanding those domain knowledge is very important. Communication soft skill is extremely important, for your career, whatever it is. I mean, also in IT. So we prefer people who are more client facing, leadership competencies. Even in the small interns, we look for the student who comes with a lot of leadership competencies. And I think I would suggest that start building connection with different professional who are already in the industry, and the platform like LinkedIn provides a very good platform, I would say. I would also say that in the beginning of the career, you focus more on what role you are getting, what technology you are getting, more of the learning opportunity than money. I think money would come later.
Sure.
So don't focus a lot of money in the beginning.
No, that is absolutely relevant and makes sense. And to add on to this, DSU particularly focuses on integrating soft skills, which we call face the world skills, across its curriculum, as well as focusing a lot on practical hands-on learning rather than just theory learning. So I think that also fits in very well to what you just said. So ma'am, once again, I think this brings us to the end of this little interaction that we had. Any closing thoughts if you would have at this point?
Yeah, so thank you once again. I think it was a good to talk to you, and good to pass on some message. And I can say that so obviously, if somebody wants to reach out to me, I'm in the industry. I'm in LinkedIn, so I would be very happy to help at the personal level also to the student. You can always reach out to me, Sasmita Biswal. I have through LinkedIn, or yeah, I think that is the best to connect with me. So happy to provide any other direct or personal coaching if I can.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us, and thank you for sharing such wonderful insights with us. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much.